The original Salomon Genesis from a few years ago was a really good all-mountain trail running shoe, and at the time I recommended it to a lot of people. The Salomon Genesis 2 refines a lot of the things that I really liked about that trail running shoe and just makes it a really nice iteration. Rather than reinventing anything here, they've just progressed it a little bit, and I think anyone who really likes the original Genesis is going to step into this one and it'll be a smooth continuation of their trail running journey. The Genesis 2 is Salomon's accessible, versatile, all-mountain trail running shoe. At $150, it puts it very well priced and actually one of the best priced all-mountain do-it-all trail running shoes out there right now. It's a technical trail running shoe and it keeps the original's grounded, controlled character, but it now has a Livelier OptiFOAM midsole, a revamped integrated active chassis, and a refined outsole, all at that same $150 price. The Genesis 2 is exactly what the version 2 of a successful running shoe should be. Maintain that familiar DNA, but employ smarter execution with no unnecessary gimmicks. In a market drifting toward tall, soft platforms, the Genesis 2 stays grounded and precise, which is exactly what I want from a technical trail shoe. I have to be able to control it out there. Okay, let's go over those key specifications. They cost $150 and you'll be able to pick up a pair on August the 1st. They weigh 10.3 ounces or 292 grams. That's for a size US men's 9, my pair. Worth noting, version 2 is a little bit heavier now. Previous version was 9.8 ounces. They have a drop of 8 millimeters, that's 34 millimeters under the heel and 26 millimeters under the forefoot. The upper's using a Matryx textile with coated high-tenacity Kevlar yarns, EndoFit internal sleeve, that Quicklace system with a lace garage, and a padded collar and tongue. The midsole is using that updated OptiFOAM EVA foam. Bear in mind it's not OptiFOAM squared like you find in the S-Lab Genesis 2. And it has that integrated active chassis for guidance and stability. And then you've got the outsole, which uses a very aggressive All-Terrain Contagrip with aggressive 4mm lugs. Very sharp, very good at digging in as you climb and biting as you go down steep declines. When it comes to sizing and fit, the Salomon Genesis 2 is very much true to size in US sizing, so go over your usual size, you should be happy there. It has a medium width and there is a little bit of wiggle room in the toe box as well. So I think that's going to actually be very approachable to a lot of foot shapes. I don't believe there's a wide version, unfortunately, but this is definitely not narrow. There's not a huge amount of vertical volume above the toes, but that does keep them in check, stops them from moving around or getting sloppy within the shoe too much. I like that there is enough space for toe splay in the toe box. That helps to give you more power as you're going up steep inclines, but also it helps you stabilize as you're running on technical terrain. Lockdown is fantastic in the midfoot and at the heel, and I attribute that to this really nice Quicklace system. Just makes everything really locked down, tight, secure, but also comfortable. If you're enjoying this review so far, please give the video a like, and if you see that hype button down there, please tap it. Really appreciate that. That tells YouTube that you're enjoying the video, and hopefully it will show it to more people. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more shoe comparisons, roundups, and running shoe reviews just like this one. Also, if you've had any experience running in the Genesis 2 or the previous version, the original, I want to get your thoughts. Did you like them? Do you like this version? Good or bad, please put it in the comments. It's going to help me understand how you've been using them and your thoughts about them. But also, anyone coming to this video wondering whether or not this is going to be their next all-mountain trail running shoe, it will give them more information to make that decision. We all really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, let's move on to my performance review. I'm going to start by talking about the midsole, the ride, the geometry and the foam, because it's a new foam, the OptiFOAM EVA foam. Traditionally EVA, that's getting a little bit old school for running shoes now, just because the longevity is not really there. It can pack out after 300 to 400 miles, so that's something you need to watch out for. It'll pack out sooner if you are running on hard, rocky ground, more so than running on soft ground. Also, if you're a heavier runner, it's going to pack out sooner too. Lots of things to consider there. But it is better than the previous version. And something you need to be aware of is the fact this is not a soft plush foam. This is much more balanced than that, and I think a lot of people might think it feels firm. But with firmness, you get control on technical trails. So that's super important if you do want a all-mountain trail running shoe that has excellent control on technical terrain. You don't want a wallowy, plush midsole, because then you're going to be wobbling all over the place. You're not going to have any locked-in stability or support. So I always recommend the Salomon Genesis to those who say they need a trail running shoe with stability. This is not a stability shoe, but it has that active chassis in here, which really does help with giving you a stable ride on the run. So anyone who does run in stability shoes on the road, this is going to be a great option for them. The midsole is balanced enough to take the sting out of sharp objects or rocks on the trails, but responsive enough to give you speed and control on technical trails too. The fact it's got a moderate stack of 34 at the heel and 26 under the forefoot also helps to control and stability as well. Being closer to the ground just makes you feel more grounded, gives you more control. And in the long run, if you are running technical trails, that's really what you need over a high stack trail shoe. You need to feel the trail beneath and dynamically adjust to it. So with that said, the Genesis 2 is not a soft trail cruiser. You can definitely use it for ultra running as long as you have a high cadence, you don't have heavy footing, or you're just used to a firmer trail running shoe. If you want something more cushioned and softer or more comfortable for longer distance ultra cruising miles, I'd recommend going with the Salomon Ultra Glide 4 instead. That's going to be a much better fit. To learn more about that one, watch my review up there. The Kevlar reinforced Matryx upper is fantastic. I've talked about Matryx uppers a lot in the past. It's very durable, but also very breathable, and that's what makes it fantastic in trail running shoes, because you do need a more durable upper in case you do snag it on a root or a rock or something like that. This Matryx is the toughest in the business right now. The Genesis 2 is also very comfortable. I attribute that to all the padding on the collars and the heel counter. Also the tongue, there's a lot of padding, but the Quicklace system ties all that together, and it allows you to get a very dialed in fit quickly and securely. It's also comfortable on the run because it flexes very easily too. And that's something that again is important if you do want to run on technical terrain. You need to be able to flex your feet naturally. So that means allowing your feet, your toes, your muscles and your feet to be able to flex the shoe in a natural way that your feet actually want to move. That helps with stability and allows you to dynamically adjust as the trail changes. That's why I don't like plates in trail running shoes, especially if you are going to be running on technical terrain, because it just locks your foot into a position which doesn't allow for any agility really. I think the closest trail running shoe to this one right now would be the Saucony Peregrine 16. Another fantastic all-mountain trail running shoe with a low stack and a shoe that's flexible but has a well-balanced midsole and allows you to run on pretty much any type of terrain with real control and confidence. That's where these two running shoes perform very well. So if you are shopping around, you're looking for an all-mountain do-it-all running shoe that's capable in the mountains on technical trails, and you want to feel the ground beneath you, I highly recommend checking out the Peregrine 16 as well. If you're wondering where the Salomon Genesis 2 features in my best all-mountain trail running shoes roundup, well, follow that link up there. That will take you to my roundup on alistairrunning.com. I always keep that list up to date as and when I review all-mountain trail running shoes, and if they're good enough, then I put them on that list. So if you are shopping around and you want the best all-mountain shoes for you and your needs, go read it. You've made it to my final verdict. Is the Salomon Genesis 2 worth $150? Yes, it's very much worth it. $150 is very reasonable for any all-mountain trail running shoe right now. And it's very hard to find a low stack, very controllable, well-balanced midsole in an all-mountain shoe right now. A lot of them are moving towards a higher stack, softer rides underfoot. And while that is good for some trails, if you are running on anything technical, it's definitely better to have a shoe like this. I always believe it's better to adapt to what's happening underfoot rather than mask it, because actually the more natural way to go is to dance around on the trails, feel what's underfoot and adjust accordingly. Run with a higher cadence, more light-footed, and just dance, prance out there on the trails. Your body will naturally know what to do. So rather than mask these feelings of joy and feeling connected to the trails, why not get a running shoe that allows you to stay more connected with it? That's what I love about the Genesis 2. That's what I love about low stack, controllable trail running shoes in the mountains. That's it for me. I really hope this review gave you the insights you needed to decide whether or not a Genesis 2 is going to be the right all-mountain shoe for you. Remember, please like the video, I really appreciate it. And more importantly, hype it. If you see that button, tap it, slap it, activate the hype, and help my video get seen by more people. And of course, if you want more shoe roundups, comparison videos, and running shoe reviews just like this one, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Can't wait. Peace.